Welcome back to Success Mashup Radio. Keith Lee is the owner of multiple businesses. The biggest and oldest of his businesses that he owns, and he can tell you how many, is American Retail Supply. American Retail Supply has been in business since 1970 and provides independent retailers with everything they need to run their stores, including the carry-out bag that you use when you're walking out of every single store you're in these days, it seems like. The store fixtures, the displays, and even the computer systems used when you check out. Keith started managing American Retail Supply, the business that he owns today. He's owned for 15 years. He started working there back in 1981. Since then, its sales have grown over 10 times, and they now have distribution centers in Kent, in Honolulu, Hawaii, and in Denver, Colorado. Think about it. Now, Keith sells to independent retailers like drugstores and independent hardware stores and clothing stores. And how many of those are still out there today? I mean, really, with Walmart and with Amazon, like I talked about in the last segment, how many of them are? It seems like they're closing every other month. Well, while the market has declined over 90%, and 90% of his competition is gone, many of them bought for pennies on the dollars by himself over the last few years. Keith's business has soared. Okay, Keith will tell you that one of the main reasons his business has boomed over the last few years is his dedication to customer service. After Keith was asked by one group after another to speak on customer service, he decided to put his thoughts into his book, Out Nordstrom, creating the world's best customer service. So welcome the author of Out Nordstrom, creating the world's best customer service, Keith Lee. How you doing?
Good to be here.
Pretty cool. So Keith, tell me what first motivated you to write your book, I guess.
Well, the book actually started as an internal document for ourselves at our business. I wanted to put together the things that we did to provide great customer service, and I wanted it to be written so that our people in our company could use it, and we had something to refer to and to train people with.
Okay.
And then I started sharing them in my newsletter that I send out to my customers. I started sharing some of these tips, and they were really popular, so I shared more tips. And pretty soon it was like, well, I need to turn this into a manuscript of some kind. So I had it in a manuscript, and then it was a matter of, well, I might as well just put it in a book. And that's how it really came. It came from an internal document that we used to start with for our own training in our own business.
Those always seem like the best type of books too. It's something that you're already passionate about. People they're asking you for it. They're asking you for more. They're asking you for more. You always love those stories about people that ended up writing something because of so many people asked for it. So know it's helping a lot of people.
Yeah, it's fun. And I mean, for my own selfish uses here too with it, if my customers give great customer service, they're going to grow.
They're going to need more.
They're going to need more of the things that I sell.
Exactly.
The bags, the gift wrap, the displays, everything else.
Gotcha. So you're actually motivated to get them to be more profitable, to be more successful, because guess what happens?
Yep.
They buy more stuff.
Exactly what we do. Some of the best, the people that in the Seattle area that you looked for great customer service, Greg's Green Lake Cycle, McClendon's, Bartell Drugs, they've all been long time customers of ours. And those are the kind of people we like to do business with.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. McClendon's, that's what they're known for. I hate going to, after the first time I went to McClendon's, I never wanted to go to Home Depot again.
Yeah,
but
they're
now,
great.
Yeah.
They're an excellent customer.
Okay, so how do you define customer service?
Well, I define Out Nordstrom customer service. The sad thing is today I wouldn't attempt to define what is kind of put out there as customer service. Some of it's so poor. But Out Nordstrom customer service is giving customer service so that your customers come back time and time again and enthusiastically tell others about you. So they become your best salespeople, actually.
Okay, I understand. Okay. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that businesses out there are making when it comes to customer service? And probably most of them don't even know it, right?
Yeah, they don't know it. The biggest problem by far is they don't train for it. They hire people. They tell them, do your job and give good service. The problem is that they're hiring people and telling them to give good service. Well, these people are out there getting such terrible service wherever they go that they think good service is like almost being indifferent.
So the bar is set so low to begin with, but they don't know how high the bar can be.
Right, and they come in with this idea that if I wait on you, it's good service, and nobody trains them anything else other than to say give good service, and then beat them up once in a while when they don't, and that type of thing. But the biggest factor by far is a lack of training. There's numbers out there that have been studied that say that if you get good customer service, great customer service, you'll tell one or two or three other people, which is again what I talked about, that your happy customers become your best salespeople. On the other side of it, if you get poor customer service, you tell on average 10 people, and so then all of a sudden you're out there and you're wondering why my business isn't growing, and the business isn't growing because you may not have the products and services, but a lot of times it's also you're turning customers away. And if you want to grow your business, in this economy, if you want to just stay still, you better not turn any business away. Okay, but if you want to grow your business, you had better be keeping those customers that would typically, about 15% of customers leave one business and go to another every year. You better keep your, You better not have very many of those going. Just think of it. If 15% of your customers leave and go somewhere else, what would happen if you kept them and then you wanted to grow? Now, if you want to grow 10%, for instance, and 15% of your customers are already leaving, now you got to grow by 25% just to get to the 10%. So it's just critical. It's absolutely critical. And again, what's so fun is seeing that some of our very best customers at American Retail Supply just survive and survive and survive. And typically it's those that you go back to and they have great customer service.
Okay, tell me, if you were to give a tip, like 1, 2, or 3 are your best tips you had to give to a business owner out there, how they can improve their customer service, the most with the least amount of effort. What would be the tips you'd suggest? Well,
the number one is the training. Is that you need to make sure and train. You need to train your existing team right now, if you haven't already, and set expectations. So the training needs to include that expectation and true discussion and letting them know what the expectations are and concrete things to do, not just give good customer service. So that's number one. Number one would be training. Number two, which is huge, is that is in our business since the early 80s, the very first training that anyone gets when they come to work, they fill out the proper paperwork that they have to come to work, the government stuff and all that. Very first training after that is customer service training. An hour and a half with the customer service that I've put together, which includes some of the clips, Disney and Stu Leonard clips from In Search of Excellence, plus a DVD that I've produced myself, a workbook, and they spend an hour and a half on customer service the very first hours that they're working. So training, and then making sure that everybody that comes in as a new employee knows exactly what's expected and where to go. So the third thing is that you better step up as the owner or the manager and teach customer service, and then persistently and consistently reinforce that, so that you're consistently giving the same message over and over and over again, and you're doing it persistently. You're doing it day in and day out. You're reinforcing customer service. You're not just letting it fall by the wayside.
Okay, I understand. So yeah, so many businesses out there, it's customer service. They think it's really important. They say it's really important, and it's just like a checkbox when they're orientation, kind of just going over what we expect.
Yeah, and I don't think very many people really even go over what to expect.
Right.
I just from my experience, it's kind of an aha moment for some of them that, I really need to tell people what good customer service looks like. And again, I'm not really talking about good customer service. I'm talking about exceptional customer service. I'm talking about customer service where you become the standard. You are the standard. We like to say we're not even the standard in our industry, in our business. We are, period, the standard of customer service. Now, what you want to do first is you want to become the standard in your industry for customer service, and then you can work to. Well, one thing Disney does, it's a cool thing. Disney looks as the competition as anyone who deals with their guests in any way that they might deal with them as competition. An example of that is the telephone. Disney looks at the best people at answering the telephones, and they benchmark them to then set their standards for answering the telephone. So they're looking at places like Land's End and Cabela's and things like that, and they're comparing what they do when they answer the telephone to that. So you start comparing every little thing you do in your business to who is the best in the world at this, and how can I duplicate that.
Okay. All right, so I hear you might be launching some type of customer service training program or something like that.
Yeah, and that came kind of the same way. After I put together the book, then and in the book I'd talk about the training we did in our business, and I'd get all these people writing me back and saying, or calling me or emailing me or whatever, and saying, so this training that you do in your business, do you have it? Can I buy it? Da, 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 da. And it was like, oh, okay, I can put it together. And I did that actually quite a few years ago. I put it together and it was there. But then now, just like it's going to launch within the next week, frankly, we've totally redone it. We've made it a totally done for you step-by-step procedure that you can literally just read the script if you want in front of your team and do that initial training, for instance.
Wow, makes
and the same thing with the new employee training when you have a new team member.
I think that's probably a little bit overwhelming. Now you're a business owner and you're thinking, okay, yeah, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Now what? Now what do I start? I got to write a manual. Oh my gosh! And then it's just like it just gets put off.
And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to make it so literally, if they really want to, they can read the script word for word. Or they can vary from the script as much as they want when they do their initial training. And then there's 2 DVDs that come with that, a total of about an hour, and a workbook that they work through. And so the entire meeting is about an hour and a half for that first introduction.
Oh, very cool, very cool. So how, if somebody was interested in finding out more about it, where would they go?
Well, something like you were talking about there, Keith, earlier on. I don't expect anybody to go and say, hey, I want this thing and buy it right away online. But I did write the book, Out Nordstrom, Creating the World's Best Customer Service. And if anybody wants that book, absolutely free. I'll even pay the postage. You get the book for free. Again, I pay the postage at outnordstrombook.com. outnordstrombook.com. Totally free, postage and everything else.
Very cool. So if somebody goes to outnordstrombook.com, they can just get their book for free. You'll ship it to their house or business.
Yep,
or
they're going to have to give
free.
us a name and address, so we have a place to ship it. And it's not an ebook; it's the physical book. You can go where you want and read it.
Very cool. See, very implementation of what's working today. So now Keith can build some trust. Get somebody to really realize he can follow up with the email, however he wants to do that. And maybe some people will come back right away and want to learn more and get into the customer service training. Maybe not. Either way, you're happy. You're helping other people, creating goodwill. They'll spread the message, right?
Yeah, it's fun, and cool. It's great.
All right, we're gonna have to take a break. We're gonna be back with Mike Sanderson. So if you do have a business, go to outnordstrombook.com, check it out, get your free book, and we'll be back in a couple minutes to talk with Mike about impact investing and how to actually get a return on your money and do social good at the same time. 2 steps away from the county line.